how does it feel to be back, and then also look around and realize how much change has gone on and how many faces are no longer here, but to know you're a leader on this defense, like, how are you feeling arriving at the game?
I feel like a rookie again, honestly, just going through everything, coming back, seeing a lot of unfamiliar faces, having to really get reconnected with the building. Because, I mean, for the building hasn't changed, of course, but the people in it, a lot of it has changed. So, I mean, just really getting accustomed to the staff, getting accustomed to new players that we've signed. I mean, really just getting really ready to go to war. And I feel like we got a really tough and long season ahead of us. So, I mean, I feel like we can make it what we want to make it. And I feel like that really goes into the work and the preparation that we put in this off season and then coming into camp. And then after that, I mean, we just got to do what we can.
Jaylon Johnson, how do you keep in touch with your teammates over the break, train with your teammates over the break?
Yeah. So I definitely checked in with a couple guys, while I was this off season. As I thought about, a couple guys that crossed my mind, just seeing how they doing, how they enjoying their time, how they spending it, how the training going, how's the body feel, stuff like that. We had a pretty fast OTAs, and we got a lot of good work done. So I was just making sure that everybody was just still healthy, and feeling their best coming into camp, because obviously this is the real preparation now for the season, and I just want to make sure that all the guys is ready to go, just like they make sure I was ready to go. So like I said, we all checked on each other.
I mean, I checked on guys. We kept in contact through like our group chat and things like that. But I'll probably say the closest one I talked to the most was Thomas. He came to Fresno. He trained with me for about 3-4 weeks. So I mean, we definitely got it in together, got a lot closer, and definitely pushed each other to get better. So I mean, I would say he is the one that I kept around the most for sure.
Coach Eberflus and Ryan Poles have talked about raising the standards around here. I'm curious, in the last few months, have you felt that in any specific ways where you've noticed a difference in any regard?
Raising the standard. I mean, it's really just establishing the standard, really, is my biggest thing. I mean, it's different than what the standard was last year. So, I mean, it's hard to say to raise it. But they are coming in and reestablishing a different culture, reestablishing a different foundation, a different way of doing things, a different way of moving. And then I feel like once we get that establishment and that foundation as a team, the leaders are enforcing that. And then I feel like then we can take that step to truly raise their standard. But I feel like it really starts with the foundation and establishing what they want us to do as a leader, and Justin here too as a leader, establishing their foundation and then getting the guys to buy into it. And then once we establish that, then we can take it a step further, and I would say to raise that standard.
Matt's made it clear how he wants you guys to practice. Have you figured out a formula on being able to go as hard as he wants you to go on every rep and still make it through 6 weeks of training camp without any setback? Is there any way to pace yourself during this?
Formula?
Yeah,
You better be mentally strong. You got to go. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not something that really, I feel like it's hard to say to prepare for. I mean, I don't care how much you ran in the off season. That's not going to simulate you running routes, you blocking, you getting knocked to the ground, you making tackles, you having to get off blocks. You can't get that type of look in the off season. So I mean, really, it's going to be a mental battle to keep pushing through it, to keep challenging your body each and every day, and then really taking care of your body when you have some downtime. Not putting the wrong things in your body, not getting enough sleep. So, I mean, it's really more mental in your preparation and just fighting through that uncomfort that is going to come for sure.
Jaylon, if you are without Roquan for portions of this training camp, what are you missing in the middle of your defense?
Our leader. I mean, y'all all know who Roquan is and what he means to the team. But, I mean, at the end of the day, somebody got to fill that gap. It's no different to me as if he was injured or he was missing a few weeks during the game. Somebody got to step up. Somebody has to fill that leadership role. Somebody has to call the defense. Somebody has to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, so I mean, really, it's a early preparation of what could happen during the season. Somebody got to step up.
Jaylon, as a teammate, do you kind of pay attention to what's happening for Roquan on the business side, knowing, you could be entering action on the business side in the not too distant future?
I mean, the way I think about his business is I mind mine. I ain't really minding his business or what he got going on.
No, I don't mean that, but do you just, as an observer, as a teammate, you look at it just kind of like, I'm going to follow this and see what happens, knowing I've got my own business in the future?
I mean, yes and no. Of course, you kind of want to see how the business is done considering that this is a new staff, consider they haven't done too much business solely on their own. So, I mean, definitely it's a start to kind of see what the business is going to look like around here. But, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's situation is different. So, I mean, really, I feel like if I handle what I need to handle and, I mean, God continues to do what he has done in my life, then I don't have any stresses, any pressure to feel any type of way about his situation or my future situation.
Justin, when Ryan and Matt got here, they talked about having a standard for body fat percentage and weight and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm curious how that compares to the Chargers where you were, and if that's had any impact on you as you've trained the last couple months.
They just honestly with that, I think it's just the ones you come back, overweight, because guys are coming back overweight like all around the league. So, just holding guys accountable with that. I don't think it has any thing to do with the way you train or anything. I mean, if you're training, you're gonna come back, under the body fat. So, outside of that, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Jaylon, of some of the things that have changed with the new staff coming in, what have you liked? What have been some changes that you have felt like are really good changes around here?
Really good changes. I would just say with the consistency, really. They haven't really changed the expectations for anybody in the building. I feel like it really kind of takes it back to the fundamentals, really just playing football hard, playing football the right way. And I feel like they established a good sense of tough-nosed football. And I wouldn't say that our last staff didn't. I just think that their emphasis is a lot more. I feel like they're emphasizing really running to the ball. Like you guys know, we got to be in shape. We're going to be running a lot more. And everything just emphasized differently. Everything is just being harped on. And I mean, the way that they count loafs, the way that they just hold us accountable is crazy compared to what we're used to, really. But I mean, I feel like it's all going to pay off. I feel like you can never be in too much shape. You can never be too physical. You can never play football hard enough. So I mean, I feel like it's all for good measure, for good purpose. But I mean, it's definitely going to be a challenge, and I feel like we're up for it.
Have either of you guys been called out in the film sessions for not going hard enough to
Oh, we all have.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
if
sure.
anybody said they haven't, they lying to y'all.
For sure.
What's that moment like when you're the guy that gets spotlighted?
I mean, you just gotta look in yourself and hold yourself accountable at first. You got to like, am I going as hard as I could on this play? Because in the game, like, Jaylon got to know that I'm gonna run my ass to the ball, every time. Because if I ain't come on that backside and he cut back and he score a touchdown, that's on me. That ain't on him. You know what I'm saying? You got to know the help there. But for him to have that confidence in me, you got to see it in practice. You can't assume that's gonna happen in the game if you ain't seen it all training camp, all OTA. So that's the reason why everybody's holding each other accountable right now, because in the game you just have to know your teammate's gonna be there. To have that trust, in the guys, you have to know it's gonna be there, and that's why it's so important that that they're holding us accountable. That's why it's so important that everybody's running to the ball. We're making sure that even if it's the slightest loaf, that's why they're on it so hard, just for that reason. Because if you can play, knowing that you got the trust and belief in your teammates, you play free. You know what I'm saying? You can take more shots knowing that you're gonna be covered up by your teammates, and that's the importance of it. So.
Justin, this defense is best when there's a very disruptive three technique. Think about the Warren Saps here in Chicago. We've seen Tommy Harris play that position at a really high level. Have the coaches emphasized that to you specifically, and are you confident that you can be that disruptive player in the middle of this defense?
The coaches emphasize being a disruptive D lineman, not just a three technique. It's more so a D lineman thing. If you walk in that room, we're expecting disruption. We're expecting havoc. You know what I'm saying, from everybody. So it's not just the three technique thing. And I understand, everybody's kind of making that the focal point, but it's not just that. Like without a tough nose, without a great D ends, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna have that three technique that you're looking for, because it's 4-4 is 1, and at the end of the day, that's what it is. So.
Jaylon, there's always an adjustment factor when you're learning a new defense. Have you seen enough in the off-season program for your position in particular, to get to the point where change is good, where you see the benefits of being in a new defense?
Can you say that again?
Yeah. Have you from what you've seen in the preseason, have you reached a point where, for your position, that you've seen that being in a new defense will be good for you? Have
I seen that being in a new defense would be good for me? I would say? So, I mean, at the end of the day, football is football. I mean, cover 2 is cover 2, cover 3 is cover 3, cover 4 is cover 4. So, I mean, it's really not even a new defense. Now, the plays that he calls may be different, but, I mean, for me, my techniques, my zones really are all the same. I mean, some of the reads and things like that, some of the progressions may be slightly different, but, I mean, the defense is the defense. I feel confident in any coverage that we run, any progression, any way that they have us running it. So, I mean, I feel like throughout the offseason I've got, I would say, comfortable with the expectation and kind of how he's going to call the defense more so than am I confident in the coverages and things like that.
Jaylon, what's impressed you most about Kyler so far?
I would just say his ball hawking ability, his ability to find the ball, track the ball. And he's an athlete at the end of the day, so, I mean, he's definitely going to be able to make some plays solely off his athleticism, him being physical, him being able to find the ball. And I feel like those are some good qualities to have as a young corner.
When you look at the secondary and all the guys in it, what are the expectations for the unit this season?
What are the expectations for the unit? That's a great question. Honestly, I'll be lying to you if I gave you an answer right now. We got to come up with that as a unit. I mean, I can have my answer, but I'm not the only one in the unit. So, I mean, definitely have to figure that out throughout camp, figure out where we are, what we want to do. And, I mean, and that's that. I don't want to give you a BS answer.
Have you talked to Roquan this morning?
I mean, I said what's up to him.
He didn't give
I would
you
say we ain't.
what's ahead for him in the coming days?
Nah, I told him earlier, I'm on my own business, big dog.
Jaylon, is it bizarre to report here with so many of the guys who were on your defense last year not here anymore? Is it
Czar? Nah, I mean, we just had OTAs not too long ago, so, I mean, it was the same thing. But, I mean, coming back now, I mean, I'm used to the guys, seeing the faces that we have now, along with a few newer faces. But, I mean, I would say it was more bizarre in the OTAs than it is now. We done had plenty of practices and stuff together, so, I mean, I'm ready to rock out with the team and the defense that we got now.
Justin, you just said
It's not all on you, but this opportunity in itself, does this feel like the biggest spot that you've been in, what you're being asked to do, and just kind of the guy coming in?
What you mean by that?
It seems like there's a lot of spotlight on what you can do for this defense. Does it feel like there's a higher level of expectation for you?
more pressure.
Nah, man, I just do my job, man. You know, I go in the meeting like everybody else, and, you know, I learn, you know, I'm getting coached like everybody else, and everybody's receiving the same kind of coaching. I'm understanding what my fit is, and I'm understanding what the guys next to me fit is, what the guys behind me fit is, and they understand what my fit is, and, you know, we all play on the same, you know, on the same accord, and it's all going to work out, you know, at the end of the day. Like I said, it's 4 as 1, it's a team thing. You know, you play with 11 people on the field, you know, in football. It ain't just one. You feel me? So, yeah, it's a team thing for me, like always.